Sleep Yoga Episode 5. Dragon Light Alchemy. How your day shapes your dreams. Karmic traces in the dreaming mind. A dream may begin before you close your eyes. An emotion touched during the day can become the atmosphere, movement, and story of the night. Yet the dream may never show the event that stirred it. A brief message, an unfinished conversation, or a moment of shame may disappear completely. What returns is the world it awakened inside you. That is the deeper question of this episode. When the senses grow quiet and the ordinary day falls away, what has the mind been preparing to dream? Welcome to Sleep Yoga, a Dragon Light Alchemy series exploring dream, sleep, awareness, and clear light through the Tibetan Bön teachings presented by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. In the previous episode, we explored karma as the continuity of action, consequence, and tendency. We saw that a reaction does not end simply because the visible moment has passed. What we repeatedly grasp, resist, rehearse, and act upon leaves the mind more prepared to move in the same direction again. Today we will follow that continuity into sleep. Imagine that a message arrives in the afternoon. The words are not openly cruel. Someone cancels a plan, overlooks something you offered, or replies in a tone that leaves you unsure of your place with them. You continue with the day. You prepare food, finish your work, answer other people, and perhaps tell yourself that the exchange was too small to matter. Outwardly, the moment is over. Inwardly, it may still be moving. There is pressure behind the ribs. The mind returns to the message while pretending to think about something else. By evening, the details have faded, but the body still carries the feeling of being dismissed or left behind. That night you dream of reaching a station after the last train has departed. No one tells you where to go. The person who sent the message never appears. The dream has changed the place, the people, and the circumstances, yet its emotional world is familiar. Something has moved on without you and you are trying to understand why. Dreams rarely copy the day with perfect accuracy. More often they continue an unfinished movement. The Tibetan teaching explains this through karmic traces, impressions and tendencies left in consciousness by the ways we have responded to experience. The event matters, but the event alone does not determine the trace. What deepens the impression is the way the mind meets it. We hold tightly to what pleased us, push against what hurt us, or repeat an unresolved story until it begins to feel like part of who we are. Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche uses the image of photography. A charged reaction is like taking a picture. Some exposures are faint. Others are burned deeply into the film because the emotion was powerful or because the same response has been repeated for years. During sleep, the film is developed. This image corrects a common misunderstanding. The day does not manufacture every dream from nothing. It provides conditions. Something that happens today may activate a trace formed in childhood, strengthened through many repetitions, or rooted in a pattern whose beginning we cannot clearly identify. The forgotten call is therefore not necessarily the true subject of the dream. It may be the secondary condition that awakens an older fear of exclusion. A small criticism may stir a long-standing conviction that love must be earned through perfection. An ordinary delay may touch a nervous expectation that safety can disappear without warning. This is why a dream may resemble neither the event nor the people involved. The surface story changes. The underlying tendency continues. The book offers another image. During waking life, consciousness illuminates the senses and we weave sights, sounds, bodily sensations, memories, and thoughts into the meaningful world we call our day. As we fall asleep, ordinary sensory involvement recedes. For most of us, awareness does not remain resting in its clear nature. Instead, it illuminates the traces that have become active. Consciousness is compared to the light of a projector. The stimulated traces supply the images. Mind joins those images into a sequence that feels coherent enough to inhabit. The result is the dream, a temporary world shaped by association, emotional charge, and habitual identity. This helps explain why a childhood kitchen can appear inside a house we visited last week, while a relative who died years ago speaks with the voice of someone we met yesterday. Dream does not need to obey chronology. It gathers material according to a subtler continuity. The mind is a gifted storyteller, even when the story makes very little sense after waking. Inside the dream, we rarely object. We accept that an old school exists beneath the ocean, or that a doorway leads into a country we have never visited. The narrative holds because the feeling gives it gravity. Logical consistency is unnecessary when the emotional atmosphere is convincing. For this reason, the feeling tone of a dream may sometimes reveal the active tendency more clearly than its most dramatic image. This is not a rule for decoding dreams. It is a way of listening more carefully. Before asking what a symbol means, notice the kind of world the dream created. Did everything feel urgent? Were you hiding, searching, proving yourself, or waiting for someone to return? Did you wake with shame, tenderness, pressure, hunger, relief, or a fear that remained in the body after the story disappeared? The feeling does not provide a final interpretation. It can, however, show us the mode of consciousness in which the dream unfolded. Dream images still matter. They give emotion form and allow hidden material to become visible in an indirect way. But their meaning cannot be separated from the person who dreamed them. A snake may be frightening to one dreamer, sacred to another, and no more mysterious than a recent encounter for someone else. A dream dictionary cannot know the history, associations, practice, and living context from which an image arose. Dream yoga therefore asks for observation before certainty. Record what happened. Notice the atmosphere. Pay attention to your response inside the dream. Compare the night with the life that preceded it. Let patterns become visible over time instead of forcing a conclusion from one vivid image. This matters especially when dreams appear spiritual. A dream filled with temples, teachers, deities, radiant light, or sacred symbols may feel extraordinary. It may be meaningful and worthy of reflection. Yet spiritual imagery alone does not prove that a dream is prophetic, transpersonal, or a transmission from a higher source. The mind can use sacred material in the same way it uses a childhood home, a workplace, or a face seen briefly in a crowd. Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche distinguishes three broad kinds of dreams: ordinary samsaric dreams, dreams of clarity, and clear light dreams. Most dreams, for most people, are ordinary samsaric dreams. They arise from personal karmic traces, our hopes, fears, memories, identities, and habitual reactions. Their meaning is not fixed inside them like a secret object waiting to be found. Meaning is shaped through the relationship between the dream and the dreamer. Dreams of clarity are described differently. They arise when mind and prana are more balanced and the dreamer is less dominated by personal conditioning. Such dreams may carry knowledge or information that does not come only from the conventional personal self. Even here, humility and discernment remain essential. Clear light dreams belong to a deeper level of practice. Clear light does not mean that the dream contained glowing beings, beautiful colors, or a radiant temple. In this teaching, clear light refers to non-dual awareness. It is not defined by spectacular content. There is another distinction that prevents much confusion. A lucid dream is not automatically a dream of clarity. Lucidity describes whether we know that we are dreaming. An ordinary samsaric dream can become lucid and still be shaped by personal karmic traces. A dream of clarity can also be lucid or non-lucid. The categories refer primarily to the source and quality of the dream, not simply to vividness or to the recognition that one is asleep. This is important because spiritual seekers sometimes mistake intensity for realization. A vivid dream can be ordinary. A beautiful dream can still be woven from longing. A frightening dream can still become a place of genuine practice. What matters is not only what appears, but the quality of awareness with which it is met. An ordinary dream is not spiritually worthless. It can reveal where the mind remains entangled. It may show a fear that waking reason has learned to disguise, a desire that has been dressed in more acceptable language, or an old identity that continues to organize experience from beneath our explanations. During the day, we are skilled at editing ourselves. We say we are not angry, only disappointed. We insist that a conversation did not matter while replaying it several times. We claim to have forgiven someone, though the body tightens when their name appears. Dreams are often less concerned with preserving the image we have of ourselves. The anger may become heat spreading through a landscape. The unfinished conversation may continue in a room where no one can hear us. The dream may not reveal an objective truth about another person, but it may reveal that something in us is still asking to be known. One dream should never become courtroom evidence. It cannot prove another person's intention, diagnose a relationship, or establish that our waking interpretation was false. Dreams are fluid constructions. They can mix recent impressions, old traces, bodily conditions, fear, imagination, and spiritual aspiration in ways that resist simple explanation. The practice is to become more honest, not more certain. The traditional account also speaks of prana, the vital wind or energy that moves with mind. As sensory awareness withdraws during sleep, activated karmic tendencies and karmic prana give the dream its movement and force. The dream takes on color, sensation, emotion, and narrative life. Prana should not be reduced entirely to a modern physiological explanation. The Tibetan energetic model and the language of the nervous system are not identical. Still, both point us towards something we can observe directly. Emotion is embodied. Anger changes temperature. Fear alters the breath. Grief changes the weight of the body. Desire leans toward an object before any conscious decision has been made. The shoulders may remain braced after an argument. The belly may stay unsettled after hours of worry. The mind may consume disturbing images until the final minute before bed, while the body quietly learns that the night is not safe enough to release. We do not leave all of this at the bedroom door. The body enters sleep carrying the day. This does not mean every difficult dream is caused by spiritual failure or by an emotion we handled badly. Sleep is affected by health, medication, trauma, hormones, environment, stress, and many other conditions. A humane practice does not reduce every nightmare to karma or imply that someone is responsible for everything that happens in the unconscious. The teaching asks for attention, not blame. It invites us to notice our participation in the conditions we carry toward sleep. We may not control what appears, and control is not the deepest aim. We can become more conscious of what has been repeatedly fed, avoided, dramatized, or left without acknowledgement. Continuity also works in a beneficial direction. A day shaped by generosity leaves a different imprint from a day spent cultivating resentment. A sincere prayer, an honest apology, a moment of patience, or the decision not to injure someone changes what consciousness has been practicing. None of these actions guarantees peaceful dreams. Sometimes greater quiet allows difficult material to surface because there is finally enough space for it to be seen. A clearer night is not always a pleasant night. At times, practice does not remove the hidden material, it reveals it. The important point is that the day and night are not sealed away from each other. The person who dreams is not unrelated to the person who answered the message, swallowed the anger, offered compassion, watched hours of frightening news, or sat quietly before sleep. The stream continues, though its language changes. This continuity also helps us understand why dream yoga begins while awake. In waking life, appearances arise, we give them meaning, identify with a position inside the story, and respond. The same basic movement occurs in dream. The nighttime world changes more freely, so its constructed nature is easier to recognize. Yet the waking world is also being met through memory, expectation, karmic tendency, and interpretation. Dream practice is not only an investigation of what happened at night. It is a study of how consciousness becomes absorbed in a world. This changes the purpose of dream journaling. The journal is no longer only a collection of unusual symbols. It becomes a record of continuity. We begin to notice how the same movement changes clothing from day to night. A fear of disappointing others may appear while awake as overwork, then return in a dream as an impossible task that can never be completed. A longing for recognition may become comparison during the day and a dream of speaking to people who never turn toward us. These are examples, not interpretations. The images will differ. What matters is the repeated movement of consciousness. The deeper work of dream yoga is upstream from symbolism. Rather than becoming fascinated only by the story, we learn to recognize the attachments, fears, identities, and reactions from which the story is being formed. We are learning to work with the causes of the dream, not only its content. Tonight's practice will help you begin. Before sleep, take 5 quiet minutes with a journal. Review the day without trying to remember everything. Let attention settle on one emotional moment that still feels active. Write briefly what happened. Do not build a case for why you were right or wrong. Name the feeling in simple language, then notice where it remains in the body. Perhaps there is heat, heaviness, pressure, restlessness, numbness, or a subtle holding in the breath. Now ask what the mind is still doing with the experience. Is it trying to preserve something, push something away, receive an apology, prove a point, recover a sense of control, or complete a conversation that cannot be completed tonight? Then remember that the event is already present as memory. Its images are changing. Its meaning is being reconstructed. The self who stood inside the event is not exactly the self sitting here now. The moment mattered, and its consequences may still matter, but it is no longer as solid as it felt while it was happening. Say quietly, "This experience is dreamlike. I do not need to carry it as something fixed." Take 3 natural breaths. Do not force the emotion to disappear. Awareness is not another demand placed upon the body. Let yourself know what is here without feeding it with another hour of argument, fantasy, or resistance. If compassion is available, offer it first to the part of you that was hurt, frightened, or grasping. If it feels honest, extend some compassion toward anyone else involved, not as permission for harmful behavior, but as recognition that they too are shaped by causes and conditions. Then write, "This is what I am carrying into the night. May I recognize it without becoming lost inside it." Before closing your eyes, form a simple intention. Tonight, may I remember my dreams. If a dream arises, may I recognize the dream as a dream. This is not a demand for success. It is a direction given gently to the mind. In the morning, record the dream before interpreting it. Begin with what happened. Then note the emotional atmosphere and the way you responded inside the dream. Did you grasp, flee, defend, hide, attack, search, or wait? Was there any moment in which awareness entered and another response became possible? Did you wake carrying a familiar state even when the images were gone? Only afterward compare the dream with the emotion you noted before sleep. Look for continuity of movement rather than a literal replay of events. Sometimes there will be no clear connection. Do not invent one. The honesty of not knowing is part of the practice. Over several nights, patterns may become visible. You may notice that certain emotions reliably enter the dream world while others loosen after being acknowledged. You may discover that the last hour before bed leaves a stronger imprint than you expected. You may see that some dreams repeat not because the mind is failing, but because the same response continues to be rehearsed. The purpose is not to control every dream through perfect daytime behavior. It is to become intimate with cause and condition. And the purpose reaches beyond emotional understanding. Dream yoga is not asking us to spend the rest of our lives interpreting personal stories. Its deeper aim is continuity of awareness. We are learning how appearance becomes a world, how habit turns that world into something unquestioned, and how awareness might remain present without being carried away. At first, we notice the trace after it has formed. Later, we may recognize the reaction while it is happening. In dreams, we may eventually know that the world appearing around us is a dream. Deeper still, the teachings point toward awareness that is not divided into a dreamer standing apart from a dream. The personal dream becomes a doorway into a much larger inquiry. What remains when consciousness is no longer compelled to build and defend a fixed self inside every experience? For tonight, begin simply. Review the day with honesty. Find the emotion that still has a pulse. Notice what the mind is grasping or resisting. Let the event become a little less solid and carry the intention for awareness into sleep. The dream may be strange, but it is not without roots. Concluding note: the night does not begin a life separate from the day. It receives the stream already in motion. Perception, memory, emotion, habit, and the possibility of awareness. When you acknowledge what you are carrying, you do not guarantee a peaceful dream. You create a different relationship with the conditions entering sleep. The trace may still arise, but it is no longer entirely unseen. In the next chapter of Sleep Yoga, Episode 6, Grasping, Aversion, and the Dream of the Self, we will look closely at the two movements that deepen karmic traces. One reaches toward what it wants to preserve. The other pushes against what it fears, dislikes, or cannot control. Subscribe to Dragon Light Alchemy, carry this light into your practice, and follow the Sleep Yoga series.